Alrighty, so last video we talked about different builds for the Ranger Veteran. So for this video we're going to be talking about strategy, and then we're going to look at some gameplay. And to be honest, I am not the greatest Ranger Veteran player out there. So what I did was I asked a gentleman known as Havoc if I could use some of his gameplay from the Onslaught series to show and analyze for this strategy guide. So I figured I would first kind of give you a visual representation of what special sniping is, and we're also going to kind of talk about Vermintide strategy from a broader perspective. So let's say this is your team comp. You have the Warrior Priest and the Mercenary as your kind of frontliners, your melee killers. And then you have the Battle Wizard with the Coruscation Staff, who's going to be spamming Flame Pillars to take care of elites and any specials that get close. So then, as the Ranger Veteran, it's our responsibility to snipe the specials. So before we talk about positioning, we have to understand that the prerequisite for all of this information is that you're set up in a place where you're not going to be attacked from behind. If you're being attacked from behind, this whole strategy is going to fall apart. So that's the prerequisite for everything we're about to talk about. So let's say the Horde just triggered and they're attacking you kind of in a straight line like this. Okay, all fine and dandy. Everyone is overlapping their DPS, no problems. So for this situation, the Ranger Veteran should be overlapping DPS with the party, and most importantly, he should be listening for any sounds of specials. And immediately once he hears that sound, let's say he hears a choke rat, the Ranger Veteran should push and then kind of drop back here, and then the team will probably kind of spread out like this. And that's something the Ranger Veteran should be communicating to the team. Let's say this choke rat shows up like right here, and then there's a gas rat that's back here, and then let's say you hear a rattling gunner right here. Well, this is still a pretty easy situation to take care of. The Ranger Veteran should be easily able to take care of these specials. And that is the bare basics fundamentals of positioning as a special sniper. If you're familiar with American football, this formation will look very familiar to you, and you'll see that the special sniper is kind of the quarterback in this situation. So then what happens when a bunch of elites start to show up? The blue dots will be elites. Say these are storm vermin. Well, the problem when elites start to show up is that the frontliners are going to have a harder time holding the line because, say, Kruber is dodging back and forth like this. Well, what happens if one of these storm vermins hits him with a random overhead? If Kruber isn't full health, we're going to start to have problems then. So in a situation like this, it is also the Ranger Veteran's responsibility to kind of help kill these elites. Now, if there are 3 specials and 6 elites, well, that's a lot. That's a lot for the Ranger Veteran to take care of himself. And granted, the 2 melee classes are going to be able to help with that a little bit. But what can also happen is the Battle Wizard drops back. Hopefully, the Mercenary ults, and the Warrior Priest might even ult. And then we can kind of start to see this box formation where the Battle Wizard starts to spam Flame Pillars under these elites, while Barden is back here sniping the specials. So Barden is protecting the whole team from dying by killing these specials. The Battle Wizard is helping the frontliners keep the front line, and the frontliners are helping by stopping any enemies from getting to the Ranger Veteran and Battle Wizard. And again, this is the bare basics, bare fundamentals of positioning in Vermintide 2. And this is really just a perfect situation where you're not being attacked from behind, and your team is coordinated enough that these frontliners don't drop back and try to snipe these specials. A lot of times that's what will happen in quick play is someone hears a special and everyone drops back, switches to their ranged weapon, tries to kill the special, and then we're all getting slapped by random Skaven slaves to get through the front line. So now we're going to see some of this in action by looking at some gameplay from a player named Havoc. If you don't know, he plays in a lot of the Onslaught series tournaments, and his team seems to always get first place. So in theory, we're looking at one of the best Ranger Veteran players in the world. I will put a link to the original video down in the description. Please, please, please go check out Havoc's channel. If you're interested at all in kind of like high-level Vermintide gameplay, that is the channel to go to. So head over to his channel, give him a subscribe, and like his video too. Now for this game, he is running Exhilarating Vapors. He's going with the tried and true level 30 talent, but he's also running Scavenger. And in fact, throughout this whole game, you can hear his teammates kind of communicating who's going to use what potions, who's going to pick up what, and letting each other know if there's a potion on the ground. So one of the things we couldn't really talk about with just Photoshop was positioning also includes using your environment to your advantage. So you can see here, like, they've kind of set up in this little corner where Barden can stand behind these boxes and kill these specials without running the risk of shooting his teammates. And you're going to see stuff like that a lot in this gameplay, where he's jumping around on top of things, trying to find the best spot he can, so he has a good view of all the specials and he doesn't run the risk of shooting his teammates. And part of that too is that his team has this hold spot kind of pre-agreed upon. So for those of you out there that are playing in pre-mades, it's a good idea to have specific hold spots for a map where your special sniper will have a good position where they're not going to be shooting you in the back, but they'll still be able to kill the specials. Teams will progress through the map, activate the different triggers throughout the map, and then they will run back to their hold spot to fight whatever they have activated. And for this engagement, he's kind of in a tough spot where it's going to be hard to shoot everything without shooting his teammates. So what he does is he uses his ult, first of all, for the damage boost, and then he uses the invisibility to his advantage and shoots the horde from the flank. And well, this part of the map just seems to be cursed for them because enemies keep on coming. But I wanted to show this clip in particular because we can really see the formation we were talking about earlier. We can really see that at play here. The Foot Knight, Witch Hunter Captain, and Shade are all holding the front line, while Barden is in the back, shooting specials, shooting elites, and so on. And so this boss shows up, and I want you to notice that he doesn't immediately start blasting the boss. Instead, he shoots all the specials that are bombarding them. Because bosses are near the bottom of enemy priority, specials are always going to be the most important, and you'll see that once the specials are dealt with, he does ult and blast away at the boss. And wow, you can start to see why this team comp is so good. Between the Shade and the Ranger Veteran, everything dies so incredibly fast. And again, we're going to see the formation that we talked about earlier in the video. Those three hold the front line while Barden's in the back blasting away, and he's looking for a higher elevate. Wow, he just matrix jumped over that halberd. But you'll see that he pretty much immediately goes for looking for a higher elevation to shoot from, to shoot over his teammates, and if he's not on a higher elevation, then he's jumping around trying to shoot around his teammates. And that's really the name of the game when it comes to playing the Ranger Veteran and ranged classes in general. Putting yourself in a spot where it's easy to shoot over your teammates and it's hard to be hit by enemies. Now, you do have to keep in mind, even if you are on a higher elevation, like where he's standing right now, you can get hit. So while you're up there, you still have to be aware of what's going on around you and aware of what's trying to hit you. So yeah, with all that being said, I think that should be a good introduction to special sniping for you. If you want to go further and learn more about special sniping, I recommend looking at spawn points on the map for where specials spawn. And I'd also pick out a few spots on each map that would be good to hold. The skill cap with special sniping is not really about having good aim. Like, sure, that's part of it, but I feel like the most important skill is being able to position yourself well. And in a lot of cases, games are won or lost based on how good the special sniper is. No pressure. So yeah, if you have anything to add about the special sniping discussion we're having, please leave a comment. I appreciate you spending your time watching, listening to me talk about Vermintide. If you like this video, go check out Havoc's original video, give his channel a subscribe, and like his video. Thanks guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one.